is the bracelet that we're going to make. And this one is a double wrap bracelet. And here is another color scheme. And another color scheme. This is a nice spring colored one. And this one is kind of more of a natural stone, double wrap style. This is more of a single color version of the pattern. And this is another version of the bracelet in a double wrap style. So let's talk about the materials that we're going to need. For this bracelet, you're going to need 4mm and 6mm round beads, as well as super duos, size 11 Toho seed beads, and 2 size 6 Toho seed beads to connect the clasp with jump rings. So let's get started. I'm using a size 10 beading needle with about 2 yards or 2 meters of 6-pound fire line. And I'm going to start with a 6 seed bead and 3 11/0 seed beads. And I'm going to string that on. And I'm going to go back up through all of those seed beads to form a loop. Here's where I can tie a knot. Then I want to continue through the large seed bead and the next 2 seed beads. So I'm going through one small seed bead after the large one and the second seed bead. Next, I'll add 5 seed beads and a 6mm and string that on. Then I want to go through the seed bead I'm coming out of and the next 5 seed beads, so 6 total. Pull that tight. Next, I put on 3 seed beads and a 4mm, and I string that on. Flip it over so that I can go through the seed bead I'm coming out of and the next 3, so 4 seed beads total. And pull that tight. Next, I add 2 seed beads and 2 super duos, and I string that on. I can flip that over and go through the seed bead I'm coming out of and the next 2. So 3 seed beads total. Pull that tight. Add 2 seed beads and go through the other hole. 1 seed bead and go through the next super duo. Add 2 seed beads and go through the last 5 seed beads. I'll start by going through the first 2 or 3, flipping it over to continue through the last 2. Now I repeat these 3 components. Again, I put on 5 seed beads and a 6mm. string that on, and go through the last 6 seed beads. Pull that tight. Add 3 seed beads and a 4mm, string that on, flip it over, and go through the last 4 seed beads. And pull that tight. Add 2 seed beads and 2 super duos, string that on, flip it over, and go through the last 3 seed beads. Pull that tight. Add 2 seed beads and go through the other hole. Add a seed bead through the next super duo. Add 2 seed beads and go through the last 5 seed beads. 1, 2, go through the first 2 or 3, and pull that tight before flipping it over to go through the rest. Again, we're going to repeat it just to get the pattern down. 5 seed beads and a 6mm. String that on. Then go through the last 6 seed beads. Pull that tight. Add 3 seed beads and a 4mm. String that on. Turn it over to go through the last 4 seed beads. And pull that tight. Add 2 seed beads and 2 super duos. String that on. Flip it over to go through the last 3 seed beads. Add 2 seed beads, go through the other hole. Add 1 seed bead, go through the other super duo. Add 2 seed beads and go through the last 5 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. Flip it over to go through the rest. So we just continue this pattern to the desired length of the bracelet. You can make it just a single wrap bracelet, or in this case I'm going to do a double length, so it'll be a double wrap bracelet. But either way, when you get to your desired length, I'm going to show you the next step of how to finish it and add the clasp. Okay, I've made the bracelet to the length I want it, and I just kind of measure it by wrapping it around my wrist a couple of times and verifying that's about the length I want it. So here is where, and you can stop at any one of the 3 components after you've done. So I've done the second one, and so no matter which component you end on, you're going to be working on this last seed bead for this last step. So I'll add an 11, 6, and 11 seed bead, and I'll string that on. And I want to go through the last seed bead plus the 3 I just put on. So going through 4 seed beads total to form a loop. And here's where I can continue through those seed beads a couple of times. And I've gone through it enough times to where I can tie a knot here. So I'm going to put my needle under the thread between the seed beads. I'm going to go through the loop once, through the loop twice, and pull. Now I just need to snip both ends and add the clasp. Okay, I've snipped the thread off the end of both sides, and here's where I can take my jump ring and open it, feed it through the large seed bead, add the clasp, and close it. And the other side just needs a jump ring. So I open that, feed it through the other large seed bead, and close it. And this is our finished bracelet.